Silicon and germanium. Let's discuss about silicon and germanium. The atomic structures of silicon and germanium are compared in the figure. Silicon is used in diodes, transistors, integrated circuits and other semiconductor devices. Notice that both silicon and germanium have the characteristic 4 valence electrons. The valence electrons in germanium are in the 4th shell, while those in silicon are in the 3rd shell, which are closer to the nucleus. This means that germanium valence electrons are at higher energy levels than those in silicon and therefore require a smaller amount of additional energy to escape from the atom. This property makes germanium more unstable at higher temperatures and it results in excessive reverse current. This is why silicon is more widely used semiconductive material. Let's discuss about covalent bonds. The figure shows how each silicon atom positions itself with 4 adjacent silicon atoms to form a silicon crystal, which is a 3-dimensional symmetrical arrangement of atoms. A silicon atom with its 4 valence electrons shares an electron with each of its 4 neighbors. This effectively creates 8 shared valence electrons for each atom and produces a state of chemical stability. Also, this sharing of valence electrons produces a strong covalent bond that holds the atoms together. Each valence electron is attracted equally by 2 adjacent atoms which shares it. Covalent bonding in an intrinsic silicon crystal is as shown in the figure. An intrinsic crystal is one that has no impurities. Covalent bonding for germanium is similar because it is also has 4 valence electrons. Let's look into N-type and P-type semiconductors. Semiconductor materials do not conduct current well and are of limited value in their intrinsic state. This is because the limited number of free electrons in the conduction band and holes in the valence band. Intrinsic silicon must be modified by increasing the number of free electrons or the number of holes to increase its conductivity and make it useful in electronic devices. This is done by adding impurities to the intrinsic material. 2 types of extrinsic semiconductor materials, N-type and P-type, are the key building blocks for most types of electronic devices. Since semiconductors are generally poor conductors, their conductivity can be drastically increased by the controlled addition of impurities to the intrinsic or the pure semiconductor material. This process is called doping, which increases the number of current carriers. So, it might be the electrons or the holes. The 2 categories of impurities are N-type and the P-type. So, let's look into the N-type semiconductor first. To increase the number of conduction band electrons in intrinsic silicon, pentavalent impurity atoms are added. These atoms are with 5 valence electrons such as arsenic, phosphorus, bismuth and antimony. As illustrated in the figure, each pentavalent atom forms covalent bonds with 4 adjacent silicon atoms. 4 of the antimony atoms' valence electrons are used to form the covalent bonds with the silicon atoms, leaving 1 extra electron. This extra electron becomes a conduction electron because it is not involved in bonding process. Because the pentavalent atom gives up an electron, it is often called a donor atom. The number of conduction electrons can be carefully controlled by the number of impurity atoms added to the silicon. A conduction electron created by this doping process does not leave a hole in the valence band because it is in excess of the number required to fill the valence band. Let's look into the majority and the minority carriers. Since most of the current carriers are electrons. Silicon doped with pentavalent atoms is an N-type semiconductor, which stands for the negative charge on the electron. The electrons are called the majority carriers in N-type material. Although the majority of current carriers in N-type material are electrons, there are also a few holes that are created when electron hole pairs are thermally generated. These holes are not produced by the addition of pentavalent impurity atoms. Holes in an N-type material are called minority carriers. Let's discuss about P-type semiconductor. To increase the number of holes in an intrinsic silicon, trivalent impurity atoms are added. So these are atoms with 3 valence electrons such as boron, indium and gallium. As illustrated, each trivalent atom forms covalent bonds with 4 adjacent silicon atoms. All 3 of the boron atoms' valence electrons are used in the covalent bonds, and since 4 electrons are required, a hole results when each trivalent atom is added. Because the trivalent atom can take an electron, it is often referred to as an acceptor atom. The number of holes can be carefully controlled by the number of trivalent impurity atoms added to the silicon. A hole created by this doping process is not accompanied by a conduction electron. Let's discuss about majority and minority carriers. Since most of the current carriers are holes, silicon doped with trivalent atoms is called a P-type semiconductor. The holes are the majority charge carriers in a P-type material. Although the majority of the current carriers in P-type material are holes, there are also few conduction band electrons that are created when electron hole pairs are thermally generated. These conduction band electrons are not produced by the addition of trivalent impurity atoms. The conduction band electrons in P-type material are the minority carriers.